Hi, welcome to another week of GCKids Online. I'm so glad you're here. This week we're talking about a parable in the Bible called the Good Samaritan. The parable means that it didn't actually happen, but Jesus tells a story to help teach a crowd something important. The Good Samaritan is found in the book of Luke chapter 10, verses 29 through 37. But wanting to justify himself, he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Jesus took up the question and said, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell into the hands of robbers. They stripped him, beat him up, and left him half dead. A priest happened to be going down that road. When he saw him, he passed by on the other side. In the same way, a Levite, when he arrived at the place and saw him pass by on the other side. But a Samaritan on his journey came up to him, and when he saw the man, he had compassion. He went over to him, bandaged his wounds, pouring in olive oil and wine. Then he put him on his own animal, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii, gave him to the innkeeper, and said, 'Take care of him. When I come back, I'll reimburse you for whatever extra you spend.' Which of these 3 do you think proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robbers?" "The one who showed mercy to him," he said. Then Jesus told him, "Go and do the same." The Good Samaritan is such a great story. And it's really easy for us to say that we would be the one who stopped and helped the man who was hurt, right? But we see 2 people pass up this man. The first was a priest. And a priest is like a pastor or someone who knows and loves God. And when he saw the hurting man, he crossed to the other side of the road to avoid helping him. And then we see a Levite. To be a Levite also means that you are a person of God, or you came from the people of God and you love him. But we see that he crossed to the other side of the street to avoid helping this hurting man. Lastly, we see a Samaritan. The Samaritan, to help make it a little bit easier, is a person who was not considered good by the people of God. But the Samaritan helped this man heal. He gave him the clothes off his own back and wrapped his wounds. He carried the man to an inn and offered to pay his way until he was healed and better and could leave. And Jesus uses this story because he wants us to be like the Good Samaritan. He wants us to have mercy and kindness for people, even if they look different from us, even if we think that we shouldn't have mercy and kindness on them. We should always offer ourselves up to help others. And this doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be hurt on the side of the road. Maybe they're just having a bad day, or someone who's been mean to you is hurting now, and it's your turn to be nice to them, even though they were mean. Jesus wants people who love him to be people who love their neighbor all the time, even if they don't look like us or talk like us, or maybe they don't believe what we believe. But Jesus still wants us to love our neighbor as ourselves, no matter what, because that is what we see Jesus do. And that's why Jesus tells the story of the Good Samaritan. And as you go about your week, here are some questions that you can talk through with your grown-up. And as they come up on the screen, feel free to pause the video and take as much time as you need to answer them. Question number 1. Why do you think Jesus told this story? Question number 2. The Bible says to love your neighbors. Who helped the neighbor in this story? And question number 3 is, how can we help our neighbor? Thank you so much for tuning in to another week of GCKids Online. It was so good to see you, and I can't wait to hear the ways that you helped love your neighbor this week.